My apologies to listeners. There is a loud hiss after certain segments in this podcast. I've tried to remove it, but each time that I do, my voice is unintelligible. Thank you.
Now recording.
The following podcast may have adult humor,
Swear words.
innuendos of a adult nature.
Making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned. Hey everybody, welcome to Blind Nights. This is Richard and I'm without Jesse this week. He is out of town, so this likely will be a shorter than normal episode. Maybe, maybe not. It's not my intention to make it shorter. Let's just say that. But without further ado, let's get into the Knights of the Braille news. You may or may not have noticed that over the past week there's been some updates to the website, which is www.knightsofthebraille.com. That's www.knightswithak.ofthebraille.com. The updates really pertain to having blog posts out there now. What we're looking for is Game Master notes, recaps of games that are held on the server. We'll even, take recaps of, if you're in like live sessions in your local community or on another Discord server and would like to write those up and submit them. And also we are going to have D100 tables, and if you have D20 tables as well, that will work. Just more of the community stuff to be put out there. I know I will have the section of my, notes that I have for the group on Tuesdays. There will be the Brutal Tuesday recap by Steven that we will post up there as well, and it'd be kind of interesting for y'all to read the notes that I have and see how the group changes them. So I think that'll be really, really interesting for everyone. But if you would like to submit those, feel free to submit them to knightsofthebraille@gmail.com. Again, that's knights with a K of the Braille @gmail.com. You can also find the email link in the show notes as well. I think it'll be very beneficial to the community. For anybody that checks us out for the first time can, see how we do things. They can find resources, things along those lines as well. Because everybody does things differently, it may give them a spark of information. So be really, really curious. And again, please, please, please submit material, as long as you want to. Of course, Jesse would probably order you to do it, but I will never order you to do it. However, let's talk about this product that I received over last week. It's called TiTians, TIE like as in the TIE Fighter from Star Wars, which is just an awesome series. Don't get me started on the new stuff, but that's totally different there. However, my screen reader does pronounce it Titans. So let me talk about these for a minute. What they are, while they were not originally developed for blind or visually impaired players or game masters, I do see the benefit in them as well, and I'm going to talk about this, which is likely going to be what the entirety of the show is about, because they have so much potential, for us who are blind or who are, visually impaired. But they also have benefits for those who are not. What they are is let me try to describe them as, I see them with my hands. What they are is a kind of like Lego, and they have slots in it in which you can put like index cards. You could put, say, Monopoly cards, things along those lines. You can even put like pictures in them, and the block itself twists in the middle. Now, it's not as hard as a Lego, nowhere near. Anybody who has ever stepped on a Lego knows they are not soft at all. But it's a rather soft, like silicone type material that twists in the middle, and it will, you can either stand it up or you can lay it down. I see this really being highly beneficial to us who are blind or visually impaired, as being able to create walls, that your player would have to climb or find the door, or maybe find an alcove or something along those lines, and once they find it, you could twist it to open the door. You can twist the actual Titan itself, and it would be like opening the door. For those who are visually impaired and still have some sight, I can see you all using them as like a spell card holder. Say you have 3 level 1 spell slots. You can have magic missile set in all 3 of them, and once you cast it and you have lost that spot, you can turn it around to a blank card, so that you have used one of your spell slots, and once you have used them all, you would have nothing but blank cards in front of you. A really quick and easy way to keep track of it. For someone who is blind, though, of course, that would not typically work for us, although for anyone who does, read Braille, as you all know, I do not. You can label it with Braille and then spin it around and know that, you have used that spell slot. It'd be really cool, too, because you could also put the description of the spell in it as well, and not have to worry about trying to memorize the spell or have to Google it, or fast forward through the audio book version of the player's guide or any of the other books that you have audio versions too. So really beneficial in that aspect. Not really sure if I don't think an entire character sheet would fit on it. And since the Titans are so lightweight, I'm not sure that it would hold up an entire character sheet. And being honest, with you all as well as myself here, I would rather have my character sheet like laying down, or I prefer mine like digitally, so that I can, change things on the fly and, look at my notes and things like that. But then again, I am, basically 100% blind and don't read Braille. I know everybody's out there judging me, but you know what? I don't care. Judge me all you want to. Not gonna make me learn it, but yeah, I would rather keep my character sheet like laying flat or digitally. But there's also a ton of other benefits to it as well, and for a sighted person, having shown these to some people, they would really enjoy like putting pictures in there and being able to change them by like just twisting it, because again, like I said, it's twisted. it turns in the middle, so you can have a picture here one day. Oh, well, you're tired of seeing that ugly mug of somebody, so you turn it around, and there's another picture there. Talking to someone who is a secretary, they said they would love to have like notes like printed on index cards or whatever, like dictation or stuff like that. And they can just look at it and write it and then flip it around to the other side, then move to the next one. So it doesn't just benefit those who are blind or visually impaired, or it doesn't necessarily just benefit those that, are sighted. It has benefits for everyone. Now, looking at it as far as tabletop gaming is concerned, another benefit would be you could somehow make texture on it, like by using sandpaper, for instance, as difficult terrain, or it's sand on a beach or a dirt road. You could have like segments on the card that's in the Titan as like a stone wall or a brick wall. Like I said, tons of different things that you can do here with this, and I'm trying to give people ideas of this, what you can actually do with this product. Giving all the good before I get to the bad, because I won't necessarily say bad, but definitely some cons to this, and I'm going to get to those as well. But you could have it slick with, say, saran wrap, or mark it however you would like to mark it to indicate ice or a smooth wall, or you could even make some of the cards shaped like trees to know that you're in a forest. Tons of potential here for us to use these in, mapping out or greeting, different things with them. And, I did receive these from Howie, and he wanted me to give my honest opinion, and I've talked with him like through email, messenger about these, and have given my honest opinion as far as I can without actually being able to use them in gameplay as of yet. So this is me talking about the sheer potential, because unfortunately, like I said, I haven't been able to use them in gameplay, and won't be able to until the next time that I run, which will be next week, possibly. Now, the Titans, as I said, are really lightweight, so that's one of the things that is both a good thing as well as a bad thing. What I mean by that is they don't take up much room. They're not heavy. They're not hard. But they're really easily moved. And again, that is both a good thing and a bad thing. The way that it's a good thing is you can move them really quickly if you need to. The bad thing about that is you can move them really easily when you don't need to. And what I mean by that is someone who's blind and has mapped out something that does not anchor to something else, such as a Lego to the big square plastic, with the bumps on it, or the notches, nodes, whatever you want to call it. You basically have to pull a Lego off of that sheet. Now with Titans, they slide. They knock over very, very easily, so you would have to be extremely careful, or you could mess up your grid completely. Mess up the mapping of your dungeon or town or whatever it is that you're doing very, very easily. You don't necessarily need these cards to be, fully all the way up. You could, cut them down into any size that you need. So that, is another added benefit to using the cards and all. And you can use, like I said, any regular index card or another kind of playing card or anything that will slide in there. I'm really torn here because I love the fact that they're lightweight, and if you were to make them heavier, they would not slide as easily, but I'm afraid that they would topple over a bit easier then. There is ways to fix this, of course, and I've made these observations to Howie. You can either permanently glue them to like a Lego, or you can use Velcro dots or something along that way or along that type of material, and then have them sit to that. That would be a lot harder to knock over. You'd have to put some, as we say down here in South Georgia, some gumption on it in order to do it. Would allow you to turn it easier without risking it falling over or the wind knocking everything over and the building collapsing, and therefore you can just say, well, the dragon came by, blew it all down, game over. But seriously here, you could Velcro them down, you could attach them to a Lego. You could even use tape, flip your tape over and make it double-sided and stick it that way. I believe that would work. Again, me not having used these in an actual game scenario where I'm running the game, I'm not 100% sure about this. Also not sure if it would be easier for me just to keep it up digitally. Because there's so much going on when you're running a game, especially when you're blind or visually impaired, behind the scenes. I do, however, believe that it would be easier to track movement like in a cave, in a dungeon, or anything like that with these Titians, and having set them up ahead of time, if I can find a good way to anchor them that's not terribly expensive, and the way I look at something like that, reusable. Some thoughts I'm having as I check these out and am talking to you all here recording this is, you can make a sheet of nothing but Velcro. Either side would really work, and just do the opposite side on these Titians. And you could map it out that way. That would work perfectly. I'm not really sure how much Velcro is, but I think it's fairly inexpensive, but who knows in today's society and market value of things. But the con for me, like I said, and it's also a good thing, is the fact that they're so lightweight and movable, because you can turn them, but that also makes them slide whenever you're blind, and you can't exactly slide it right back into place. So definitely something needs to be done about that. And again, I've talked with Howie about it, and I use Legos to map out a lot of stuff like that. And Legos don't move. You could also do like a silicone sheet. You could use Play-Doh, which, who doesn't love playing with Play-Doh? I mean, I'm 39 years old as of this recording, and I was thinking about buying some Play-Doh the other day. In fact, I did, but, it was for toys for kids. You could use a silly putty, which, at least I think it's silly putty, some kind of putty to keep it from moving. You could even go above and beyond and, use some of that, like, it's not ceramic, but you can make ceramics out of like clay and make a grid where the Titans would sit in it permanently. And you can take them out like after each game, but it has their little indentation there where you can set them in there. That's where, and I'm sure anybody else who has some of these or gets some of these, could probably come up with better ideas than what I have, come across so far. But there's and I know I keep using the word potential, which is likely going to be the title of the episode. And there's a ton there, and I know I'm not the smartest person in the world, so I'm sure there's even more out there than what I've come up with. I do believe that the pros and the good definitely outweigh the con, or the cons or the bad. And really the biggest con that sits out to me or stands out to me is the fact that they're so lightweight, that they move easily, and if you were to have a fan or the air from your arm moving could knock them over, and they slide. But I definitely think that the good outweighs the bad in this case. And what I really like about it is the fact that Howie reached out to Jim and myself about this with the potential of these. And see, there I go using the word again. Reached out to us about this because I had never heard of them, and Jim had not either. But there's a lot of good that can come from these. Their versatility is just simply amazing because, like I said, the pictures, the index cards, if you wanted to and could make them more stable on your grid, you could even velcro like a miniature to them, and the mini could you could turn it as it turns in battle. So much that you could do. But I really like that how he's really approachable, and as he said, even give negative feedback, because it helps, which it does, because it lets you know where you can improve, much like a game master asks for feedback from his players to see what him or her or they could do even better. Always seeking to improve, because once you stop seeking to improve, that means you become stale, and who likes stale stuff other than peeps at Easter time, because stale peeps are just like the bomb diggity in my opinion. But Howie is really approachable, really nice guy, understanding, and what I really like about him is he wants to help. He wants to make our gameplay experience even better, which is, it's just fantastic, because we all know that having, talked to other game developers or bought things from, websites like drivethrurpg.com that, and it's not just them, but it's like anybody who uses PDFs, they're not accessible, and, a lot of the publishers don't care to make them, accessible. But Howie has approached us and wants to help us enjoy the game even more so, and I believe this invention will do just that. Once we get the, I won't say bugs, but the problems that a totally blind person would have with these, situated, and the workarounds and things like that. And again, I know I'm somewhat repeating myself, but once I can actually run a game having used these, I think I may have some more pros or more cons. Only time will tell, just like, with anything else. Using them more and more will let you know, and discover other things as well. However, we do have some good news about these Titans, especially with Christmas coming up, is that from December 1st until February 28th of 2023. Again, that's from December 1st, 2022 to February 28th of 2023. Man, it's hard to believe we're already at the end of the year so far, but with Christmas coming up and the new year beginning, again, from December 1st, 2022 until February 28th, 2023, you can get a 10% discount when you use the code KOTB 2023 at checkout. And that is capital K, capital O, capital T, capital B, 2023 at checkout. And you can find them on Etsy. The link to their store on Etsy will be in the show notes. That's really going to be about it for this episode of Blind. Should I call it Blind Night, since there's only one of me? Or just continue with the Blind Night so that, the whole cohesive thing going on. But I do thank everyone for joining, and be sure to go check them out. Again, the link will be in the show notes, and use promo code KOTB 2023 and get yourself a set of these. As you know what, get somebody that you care about and that plays games a lot, a set of these as well. Y'all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk with you next week.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.